All right, let's dive into our case study number two for Upwork. This one is also related to the HubSpot platform, and I think it's going to be an interesting one because here they want to set up an AI chatbot, basically using the HubSpot's native tools, right? That's the limitation that we have, and I actually like that limitation because that forces us to think within certain constraints of the platform, right? We don't have to venture out of those. And cool. All right. So this is what they're looking for. They want to create a chatbot, and from what it reads like, it's going to be hosted on their own website, which is good. And it's going to be a knowledge based chatbot. They want to pull information from their external help center, some website pages, external files and documents, PDFs. Yeah, pretty cool. We will have to convert these into Markdown, um, whatever format that they are. Markdown would make more sense. And we need to identify content that should be included. It's going to be optimized for AI retrieval too. Then bot behavior. Um, what happens when the bot cannot find the answer? Do we hand it off to a live team member? Do we forward it to someone? Right? Those kind of if and if if and not scenarios. If and then scenarios, and you need to configure tone of voice too, testing and optimization. That's great. Deployment and handover, some documentation they would need, which is fair. All right, let's jump into it. I mean, enough with the description, right? But the description is detailed. I like that. It gives us a lot of information as to how we can approach this problem, right? Now, anyone who's applying to this job, I would be applying to, but even if you are, feel free to add on to this architecture here. Refine it, optimize it, uh, and do share it because I would like to take a look at different approaches for sure. Now, our data sources, right? They have to be from website, external help center, and let me zoom in here. This is a data source container, right? You get some data from all these sources, but in HubSpot you will have to set up the chat first, which is the chat window that we see, right, in websites or whatever, in apps, whatever platform you are on. So you need to set up the chat, and here you can use the brand brand colors, I believe. You need to design the chatbot too, right? Using brand color tones, palette, whatever that is, the font. We can do that pretty easily within the chat setup. Then once your chat is set up, you need to define where it's going to be hosted. Is it going to be the HubSpot website? Is it going to be an external tool that can be done within HubSpot? And then you have chat flow. Now this is our engine of the bot, our brains. This is where we will have to select the knowledge and support bot. HubSpot has different types of bots that they let you work with. One of them is lead gen bot. Other one is the knowledge base and support bot. Then there are quite a few, but our template would be knowledge and support bot. The wonderful thing about this is that you can control the chat scenarios using a lot of logic within the flow. It's like an automation flow. Then you bases business logic at what point, right, to hand off to a live user in case the answer is not found, in case the customer is not happy. Those kind of scenarios we will have to think through, write them down, and then add the logic to handle those scenarios in our chatbot, right, in chat flow. And one critical one would be error handling, I think, for this bot. And from the projects that I've done for setting up chatbots using VoiceFlow, HubSpot, Salesforce. Error handling, what do I mean by that? Sometimes you would need some transparency, right, with your bot. So we can, at the end of every conversation, we can have the bot say, hey, if you were happy with the conversation, give me a rating, right, out of 10, out of 5, it can be anything. If the rating is above a certain number, let's say it's 8 and above, the user is happy, all good, right? You don't do anything. But if it's less than 8, that means the customer was not happy with the conversation. Now we can add a logic to basically send that conversation transcript to someone in the team, right? Like a live user. And they can review the conversation as to what went down, what could be improved, get the feedback, and then improve on the setup for this bot here. Because this way you keep your customers happy, users happy, right? And you make sure that they actually found what they were looking for, rather than just like setting this up and being in the blind. You don't want to be in the blind, right? That's the key to AI. Actually, you need to set it up, you need to have transparency, and you need to make sure what's happening with your setup. Cool. I think, yeah. So this looks like it can be done pretty easily within the HubSpot platform without needing any other third-party AI tools or anything at all. I think for testing and optimization, it'd be nice to let users test the bot for internally first for at least a week, right? And then another week, whatever. If we make it once we deploy it, right, you can give the documentation. That's super easy. And how it can be updated, the sources, we can create short walkthrough videos for those. Again, super easy using something like Vimeo. And I think, yeah, once you're deployed, it's about keeping a log of your conversations, making sure your customers can, I mean, the users can give some feedback, and I think it'll be good with the bot. You can deploy it anywhere. In your emails, if you have a customer support email system, you can deploy the bot there. You can deploy it on your website, apps. Now, as to the fixed price, I think this project, um, it's going to be $1,500 project for the whole setup. This is going to take around 12 to 15 hours to set the whole thing up. Milestones would be right here. Milestones would be setting up the data sources container, right? That's an important one. Then another milestone would be setting up the brand voice. Then third milestone would be your internal testing, right? How does the bot perform in the internal testing? And that's sorry about that. That's about it. Other than this, I think, yeah, that's the cost, hours, milestones. Other than this, my experience personally has been setting up all kinds of chatbots in HubSpot. Even non-AI bots, chat flows we have set up, they work pretty well if you're working with just data, or if you're working with lead gen. But other than that, I've used voice flow, I've used bit chatbots within Salesforce, and even in WordPress using third-party tools. But yeah, I hope this helps anyone who's looking to set up a chatbot within the HubSpot ecosystem. All right, I'll see you next one. I mean, next time in the next case study. Take care.